The premiere to this documentary film couldn't have gone any better. Thank you to everyone that was there, and to those that are going to watch the film now here on my Patreon, thank you as well. This film has been such a game changer, not only in my career, but in my life. And as a future filmmaker, this is literally a dream that has come true. We have also decided that we are going to continue filming to have an extended version of this current documentary.
The story was incredible, very engaging. It was beautifully shot, especially for his first film. I'm glad to see these two come together to produce something amazing.
It was absolutely incredible to hear his story, and how passionate he is about what he does was absolutely amazing. Sam did an incredible job with putting everything together. The suspense, emotions that were tied into it, it really drew you into the movie, so I couldn't commend them anymore. They did an absolutely amazing job with that.
What do you guys think?
We have also decided that we are going to continue filming to have an extended version of this current documentary, but that will not be shown for quite some time. So we've decided to put out this version for you guys to view. I have gotten nothing but positive feedback, and to those that have signed on to my Patreon membership to further on support me in this filmmaking journey, I thank you so much. After you're done watching the film, stick around, because we did include the Q&A portion of the premiere. So after the film was done, everyone was able to ask their particular questions regarding the film, my filmmaking journey, and things they wanted to know about Andrew. So make sure you stick around for that. And we're going to continue to have updates for you guys on my Patreon, on this Patreon. So if you want to continue to support, please do so. Once you're done watching the film, if you don't want to continue with the Patreon membership, go ahead and just discontinue it so you're not getting charged. Either way, thank you so much for supporting this project, and I really do hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
This is the moment I've been waiting for my whole life. If you love what you do, you always find a way. My way is just put my head down on the grind and go with it. It's crazy because I'm a first-generation horse person. My parents didn't have horses. I was born in Massachusetts. And my first word was horsey. I wasn't raised to be the best Puerto Rican and black kid at anything, right? Andrew, be the best Puerto Rican black 400-meter runner in high school, bro. Like, be that. No. Be the best that you can, period, right? Football, same thing. I take that same mentality that my father instilled in us, and I'm not trying to just be the best me. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. I want to be the best, period. It's not all cupcakes and rainbows. This isn't a Disney movie. I believe it's super important to be transparent, to show everything that I do, right? There's not a lot of people that do that, especially, specifically in the type of showing and the breeds that we have. I'm not doing anything different for the types of training that I'm doing. The thing is, I'm just showing it. You know, I'm not scared to show what we do. Again, a lot of people that do the same discipline keep a lot of stuff, you know, behind closed doors, the type of training that they do.
Get up there, buddy.
and we're like, hey guys, this is what we do.
Two and a half. Ivan last year. Hubert winning the Oregon Trophy. And then Ivan again. Yeah, a little. It'd be a bit gaudy with all those huge pictures in the house, but that's the picture of what we strive for him to look like under saddle. And driving now. So I've only cantered him once, and it's less than a month away from showtime. So we got a lot of work to do. And it's starting today. We're going to start cantering lessons today.
So my name is Andrew Pearman. I'm a Charlotte native, and I've got a business called Pearman Ranch, where we have Frisian horses and Dutch harness horses. We breed and we show, and we do a lot of social media as well. We pretty much want to promote our horses and the breeds that we have all around the world.
I was able to witness one of your shows, Tryon.
Yeah.
Individuals that have no idea what you're being scored on,
Sure.
or what you're being judged on. Mm-hmm. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, man, that's what Tryon was. That was a presentation. So basically, we were there just to show off our breed. We were the first Frisian saddle seat and Dutch harness people to even be on the property. So it was kind of a big deal to be on one of those, one of their Saturday Night Light events and be able to show our horses for what they do and who they are.
Here comes Nikki. Nikki was born in the Netherlands in 2020.
The type of horses we have are show horses, and they're supposed to be like the peacocks of the show ring. If you like fancy, if you like, dressing nice and being slick, those are the horses that they are. There's many different breeds that do the kind of show driving and saddle seat that we have. But we chose the Dutch harness and the Frisians because they're unique and rare, and we're kind of bringing awareness to the breeds because they're the Dutch harness horse itself is kind of going extinct, so we want to bring that to the forefront so people can see how amazing they are, and hopefully help them grow.
I don't know, he's just so ambitious when it comes to his horses and his love for it. He would rather be at the barn than anywhere else, and he would rather, all of his kids be here when we're all doing it together.
Look at that. Sorry, I just... Get it, Andrew, get it! Almost. Relentless pursuit, and then he's gonna go help.
His
and he's out.
passion just shows through with how hard he works with the horses every day.
Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Don't do that shit. When his head ducks down like that, he was thinking about bucking. So that's why we stopped. Ready? Good boy. Hey.
So I just help do all the farm chores. I help Andrew when he needs stuff for training. When he needs things at shows, I'm just his right-hand man when we do all of the shows, presentations, and at the farm. We just work together well. Sometimes we fight. Sometimes we yell at each other.
Good job, Megan.
I give her all the credit in the world because she doesn't come from a horse background.
She doesn't really come from a sports background either, like I do. And, you know, I can just be incredibly intense when dealing with, you know, dealing with certain horses and wanting things to go a certain way. But she's been incredibly gracious with handling me through all these things, and it's intense. All this stuff's intense, you know. When you're dealing with breeding stallions, when you're dealing with you know, hot-blooded show horses, you know, you kind of always need to be on the same page. I just have to keep checking myself. She's only been around horses since we've been together, and same thing with Steven, my amazing, you know, basically big brother. You know, he's insanely helpful, but he didn't come from horses either, and there's a lot of stuff that, you know, sometimes I expect that I shouldn't expect, or I should just simply teach better. So, you know. Y'all gotta be fast, please. Hook! Hook! Okay, come on. Hook!
Now?
Yes. Okay. Get in the hole first!
In the hole?
Steven, you gotta work, man. Come on, you gotta pay attention. In the hole, yes. Put the shaft in the hole. No, put the shaft in the hole. Take it. Go. Go, buddy. Go.
Andrew's intense, and anybody that's been around him knows it. We do everything with the intensity of like we're at the Super Bowl, or we're training for the Super Bowl, or this is like the greatest moment of our lives. So it's there's intensity to it, and I think just me being in the military, that intensity doesn't faze me. It's, you know, some people get upset when there's that level of intensity, like just as an example, if like Andrew says something to somebody, they can take it in a manner like he's talking rude or mean or whatever, and it's not. It's intensity. It's like, we're here, we gotta go, let's do this right now, you know. And these are massive animals, you know, and they can be dangerous, and things happen that are sometimes out of your control, so that level of intensity is necessary.
It's difficult, you know. The investment and the challenges are hard, because we're dealing with animals here. You know, there's a lot of variables that come into when you're raising an animal, training an animal. You know, sometimes things that you can't even prepare for. It's humbling because you can't expect so much. You gotta, you know, sometimes you need to look in the mirror and say, am I teaching it the right way? Have I, you know, have I been kind, you know, in a disagreement? And normally it's, you know, not normally, but a lot of times it's no. And I've got to say, all right, you got to step back and do it better next time. Whenever you're doing a pass, like we were doing a straightaway pass, you want to get your horse's attention forward, right? Just like when you're taking pictures of children, right? You make a sound, you get them to look, oh, I'm looking at where I need to go. So when you're working these show horses, you know, we do the same when we're coming down a pass. And that's why a ground person is so important. They have to know they have to watch the horse's body language, right? They've got to understand what's enough or what's too much. And unfortunately, that's what that was, is that Hubert was turning, she gave him the little deal, but he slipped as he was turning. You gotta learn a horse's body language. You can't just go crazy with it. You know, that's some of the stuff that people don't show, right? I mean, and one thing, you gotta know your horse, in that Hubert normally doesn't need him much at all. You know, you can do everything right and still things can happen. So I think it's very important to just be prepared, to not be prepared sometimes. I know that sounds a bit weird, but you know, you can feed your horse the best, train him the best, and they can still slip and fall sometimes. You know, and you know, and hurt themselves. So, oh, buddy. So the quarter, see it cracked at the top, right there. Yeah. This is really ugly because I did that when I was walking him to the barn. Right before we walked in, I looked down and I saw a little blood on his hoof, right near the coronet, and that is a quarter crack. Man, I'm telling you, like, I called my farrier so quickly. Like, dude, I'm like, what do I do? It's a bad situation. There's almost 2 years of buildup for this competition, right? There was a lot of trash talking on my end, knowing that I'm bringing fire. Like, I'm bringing the one to nationals. Like, this isn't a joke for me. Like, I don't, you know, and to have that happen so close and have no control over the outcome, right? Like, no control, and then having to trust someone else in that whole situation, saying, no, he's gonna be fine. Like, he's gonna be fine. You know, and trusting Hubert that he's just gonna heal, and you know, that he was gonna be all right. God. You're never gonna be totally prepared. You know, you want to cross all your T's and dot all your I's, but there's gonna be some X, Y's, and Z's too that might come your way. But you know, just be prepared.
Everything that I do, I've learned from him. And I don't know, I think that everyone really loves that it's all family when it comes to Andrew, and the horses and the family are all meshed together. It's all one thing.
Oh man, they are so involved. The kids, you know, whenever we go do our show horse work, you know, they help kind of get the horse's ears up. They can help groom, stuff like that. Even Hubert, you know, they get in and wipe him down with towels and stuff like that. And, you know, I think it's so important to teach my kids specifically that even if you don't want to do the work, you got to get it done. You know, you got to get the hard work done so you can go have fun. So, you know, they're very involved, very. Chef like makes meals makes dinner, and then like makes like a lunch or something for the next day, and then comes back. Yeah. There you go. Touch your butt every time. I try to. Yes. So I specialize in training athletes for speed and agility, injury prevention, and you know, we've got a lot of young athletes, older athletes, or whatnot. But what's awesome is my general fitness stuff. That you know, a lot of it's funny how it worked is I started training younger athletes, and then I started training the parents of those athletes. Jeez. You're going crazy. Chill out. Body movement like this, okay, is wasted energy. So let's take a knee. Now let's take 2 steps, okay? So push and push. Got it?
Human mobility to the horse mobility, how does it translate?
I think...
Do you use that same approach with the horses?
Same. The only different approach is that you can talk to people and say, how does this feel, right? Horses, you can't do that. But you know, I think that when it comes to my Dutch horse, Hubert, understanding the efficiencies of where his hind end wants to step, right? Where I want him to step to his belly, so that helps him propel himself forward and, you know, create power and generate power. Understanding that that's the way he's supposed to move. Right? Can and has helped me develop like conditioning for him that strengthens that area. You know what I mean? Same thing with my athletes in, you know, push mechanics and strengthening the hip and the hamstring and, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, super parallel there, definitely. Be ready. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Low risk, low reward. The daily routine is simple. You know, every morning we get up and, you know, some mornings I have to go to the gym like super early, dark and early. So Megan will feed at about 4:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Other days I'm feeding in the morning. Then we try to come back about 8 or 9 or 9:30 to start working horses. You know, we have different routine for all of them every other day, every day. And, you know, and then the PM, we feed, clean stalls again, and, you know, maybe take some out, groom them, handle them a little bit, and get up and do it over again the next day. Get ready to go. We're at David Herlocker's farm, who's my farrier, and this will be the last time we are going to work him as a show horse. I brought my Viceroy. It's pretty much a dress rehearsal. So, you know, he's got a beautiful barn here. You know, Hoover's never been here. It's been years since I've been here. So, you know, we're going to dial him in and see what happens. Why not? All right, let's go.
In your opinion, his progress.
Oh.
What's your opinion on his progress and his passion,
His
obsession?
Oh gosh, it's unparalleled. His progress has been incredible. I mean, there's not somebody else in the business, not any of the disciplines that I know, that can condition a horse the way he does. And if you do the right conditioning with your horse, the performance is going to be 10 times better. So he's the master at it. He takes everything he knows from training people in the gym and applies it to training his horses, and it's just amazing.
He's always been in a different horse world than I have. I'm a cutting horse, tough kind of Montana ranch horse, and then he's with these fancy high steppers. But they're beautiful. And then I kind of hit the road this year. I've lived in Montana, and I hit the road and came back to North Carolina, and he had me and my brother come out to ride Ivan, and I just haven't left since.
Her and then ran through these loops and tied, right?
Huh?
So whoosh, and tied.
Yeah, because with other horses we could that don't move as much, you can hook it to his chest. Yeah, exactly. But Hubert moves like crazy, so it's better to have that already hooked on, just like we do with the marathon.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just starting to think of because we only did that once with
Naukia.
Not yet.
He starts with nothing. He knows, very minimal about what he's doing with these horses when he starts. It's just a passion, and he learns everything about it. He goes from 0 to 100 so fast, and anything that he touches with him when he comes to these horses is amazing. He can take something that he doesn't know a lot about. His growth is, you can't even, there's no words for it. And how fast and how smart, and just, he grows so fast with everything because he lives it, he breathes it, he eats it. I mean, sometimes you can't even have a conversation with him without it being, because that's what he's thinking about at that moment. It's like horse, 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 horse,
It's interesting. Somebody asked me, I said, hey, where's your you know, where's your vacation place you want to visit? And I said, like, I don't have one. I want to be at the barn working with my horses, you know, because this is where I want to be. So the Pearman Ranch goals are, to me, are simple. It's to simply have the best Dutch harness horses in the country.
What exactly are the judges looking for in a competition like this?
Yeah, so what the judges are looking for in this American Dutch harness class, they're looking for brilliance, they're looking for athletic ability, movement, style. You know, one of the interesting things is the difference in the Netherlands and here is that in the Netherlands they just show their horse. There's just one speed. Thanks, buddy. Just one speed that they just go the whole time. It's different here in America because they have the park trot and then the show your horse, which is a little bit different speed of whatever the best speed of your horse is. So that's a little bit different for Hubert, and we've been working on that. I mean, however this might sound, but you can tell he's not from here. You know, I think that's a good thing. He just has a way about him, an exuberance that just captures the eye, and you know that's what makes him stand out. You know, this is a dream come true for me. This is the culmination of an entire lifetime of like wanting to do this shit. And now we're doing it, like bigger than ever. So thank you both y'all for being here for this. Thank you. Let's fucking do this shit. You know what I mean?
It was so much emotion, right? I mean, I was a big sports guy, obviously, playing football in college, and my thing was just getting hype and angry and doing it, right? You can't do that with horses, you know? So I have to kind of put a leash on myself and say, look, stay focused, stay calm. Hubert's already a wild man, so me being extra will not help the situation. And it was just a lot, like an outpour of emotion right before kind of we hooked him. I remember bringing in Steven and Megan and giving them a hug and like just getting really emotional, saying, guys, thanks for being here. Like, dude, you guys, they take all my shit, right? I am not easy on them. I'm not easy to deal with at all when it comes to perfection in with Hubert and in any of these kind of, you know, any of these kind of things, specifically Hubert. And, you know, I kind of just hugged him and held him for a minute. Like, thanks for being here, guys. Like, you know, y'all are the ones, and thank you. Then obviously the focus, right? I get out of that, I kind of, you know, breathe and refocus and say, all right, I got to calm, I got to be easy, and let Hubert just do his thing. Don't get in his way. He has some things that he likes. Make sure I do those things, and, you know, let it ride. These are things you got to understand that, like, the judges stand in the middle, right? There's 3 judges, there's a 3-judge panel. They're in the middle, right? And if someone gets in front of you, or between you and the judge, like, the judge sees them. They don't see you, you know? It was wild, right? Like, I was hyped getting in the ring. You know, I was just ready, and I go in the ring, and I'm like, holy shit, this ring is not as big as I thought. If you're not seeing, if you're covered up the whole time, nobody's gonna, you know, the judge can't judge you. Hubert was hot. He was on fire that first class. Like, he felt so good. You know, it was an experience that I'd never experienced before, for sure.
Feeling real good, man. Hubert was on fire. He just knew what to do. You know, I'd push him, and he just knew exactly what to do, man. I love this horse so much. I love this horse so much.
You guys place first in qualifying?
Yeah, man, we're first. Yeah, the Novo Cup Saturday night. Now we got to get him off his feet, get him hydrated, you know, get him rested and ready for Saturday, because big guns are coming out then. Yeah, buddy. Going for it. People try to they kept trying to box me in. I was trying, you know, I felt like I was playing football again. Shit, weaving in and out of them, you know. Hubert was like, "You're gonna see me. You're gonna see me." Ain't that right, buddy?
And that guy told you just go over. You're like, no.
I was like, "No, dude, I won."
I'm gonna take the victory.
Yeah, exactly. That was awesome. I really want to see the film, like, yeah, and try to cut me off. Well, it's part of the show. It's fine. No, not on accident. You're supposed to. But he tried to cut me off. I saw him here, and then I blocked him off. Yeah, that was fun. Where's this hole? Megan, how did he look, really?
Yes, yeah, he looked
He was
great.
sitting there.
Yeah.
I told you what that guy said. He said nobody's beating that horse. And this, like, I mean, he's an old old trainer. Like, yeah, he knew what he.
Make friends. We came here to win.
Yeah, he told that guy. He was like, no, you weren't gonna beat him. Good job on second.
Loud in the ring.
Yes. I told anybody that was coming to say, be loud. It's a horse show. Yes, of course.
Yeah, I don't know how I came across it, but I got old Instagram.
Yes.
And so I've been fan following ever since.
Yeah.
I actually work in Charlotte randomly, so
Oh,
I
cool.
would love to come visit
Oh,
sometime.
cool.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
You definitely should.
Okay, cool.
Now, because we know you in person,
Yeah,
you know,
now it's
you're not a
like
creepo.
It's not the stalker.
Exactly. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you definitely should. How long you guys here for? So
We did a long day trip, so
Cool.
we're gonna go back tonight.
Well, I'm
Are you
glad.
showing tonight too?
No. He's
No,
done. It was
he's
tonight
done.
and then Saturday night. So this was the qualifier.
Okay, yeah.
There was a stallion gelding qualifier
Okay.
and then the mare class.
What did he do to his?
He did his victory jump, and guess what? It was at the end,
It was, yeah.
like he always does.
Yeah.
He's like, I fucking won, jumped up and then bam. But I think,
And it's wild because I remember when I stopped playing football, it's still tough for me to even talk about. It's coming now almost.
Wow.
But I remember finishing, being done with football, right? And it came to a kind of abrupt end for me. I remember my dad, sitting down with my dad and saying, Dad, I was just trying to make you proud, And he said, Andrew, like, you being happy makes me proud.
Wow.
It was crazy.
How old were you when you had this
I was
conversation?
22.
This is when you told him, I need to follow my heart.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was at a time, if I remember correctly, Andrew was playing football at the time, playing for the University of Virginia, and he was in a playoff at that time, and there was some issues that had come up, and had a chance to sit down with Andrew. Those issues really resulted in him not playing there anymore. But I sat down with Andrew, and as a dad, you want your children to get involved in something that they have their heart into, and somehow through all of that, Andrew, expressed an interest in horses. I didn't quite understand it, but I knew it. It's something that had to go very, very deep. And as we learned, that love for horses that started at a very, very young age continued through hard times, good times. The one thing that was consistent was his love for horses and his interest in horses. In our family, athletics, you found athletics, everywhere from uncles to cousins. There was always athletics involved, and to a serious degree. So I think that as a dad, you just love for someone to really get into what they're doing. If it's athletics, let's take it serious. Let's take that serious. And or whatever it might be. And it tickles a father's heart to see a son involved in that thing or truly involved in that thing, whether it's athletics and now it's horses, but to be fully involved in it. It gets me excited every day when I see him do what he does. When I go to YouTube and see him doing something with the horses, training them, caring for them. It's special. So I would say there was never any letdown for me when Andrew wasn't involved with athletics anymore. You know, we say that, but if anyone saw him or gets an opportunity to see him put on a show with his horses, only an athlete could do some of the things that we see him doing. As a matter of fact, in one of the shows, there was a spectator that came up to his mother and I and said, "How in the world does he run with the horses like that? How in the world?" I wanted to say, hey, you should see him run the 400-yard dash. That's a piece of cake.
What I noticed going to that show, I don't want to be as obvious as I can be, but what I noticed from that show is that you were one of the only light-skinned dudes there.
Yeah.
And at the level that everyone was at there, I found that extremely interesting and just motivational, to say the least.
I don't know that it necessarily bothers anybody. They act different, you know, and we're different. We're different as a whole. People in the saddlebred and Dutch harness world and everything, and a lot of horse worlds for that matter, they don't look like us. They don't look like Andrew for sure. They're not walking around with tattooed necks and stuff like that. You know, we're a little bit different. And Andrew being of color, I think, is something new to them, you know? And I don't know, it's kind of, I feel like there's a lot of generational wealth in this environment, and they're not used to it. So when they see us country bumpkins come in here and start kicking ass, that, you know, they're going to be a little frustrated at first, but we're here. Like, you know, Andrew's here. You're going to have to deal with it, so it doesn't matter.
Too bad. You don't let your hair fly, buddy. It looks good like
Slap
that.
hands.
Slap hands. Slap hands.
Slap hands.
I don't know what that's from.
Water boy.
Slap hands.
Oh, yeah.
If not, you'll obviously get a bunch of video. But yeah, again, best people in the biz right here. Best family, best friends. And we're about to get out there and show them what's up.
He's definitely breaking out of the mold that this discipline has, and he's absolutely saying no to the way that everything has been done. And I think it's really cool. It's opening up not only this discipline, the saddle seat discipline, but the whole Dutch harness world to opportunities, I think, that they didn't think that they had before. He's just kind of breaking all the norms, which is really cool to see. Really cool. And killing it too.
Awesome. What do you think his chances are of coming out on top tonight?
Really, really darn good.
I mean, he killed it yesterday, or the day before yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not going to jinx it. I'm a little superstitious, but he does what he did the last class, he'll kill it. He did awesome.
Go kill it, buddy.
I'm just a bit anxious. Anxious because we got to wait a lot longer to show. But Hubert almost fell asleep, so he is a lot more chill than I am, which you'd have normally thought it'd be the other way around. But yeah, no, I'm ready to go. Ready to go.
I was sitting with Hubert when we were about to go out for the Renovo Cup, and because it was at 9 p.m. and Hubert's normally sleeping at that time, he was yawning, and I thought, oh no, is he going to give his 110%? But I didn't want to tell Andrew at the time because timing's everything, and I didn't want him to lose his excitement and everything. But I told him the next day, and he said, yeah, I noticed that too. I didn't want to say anything either.
On the reverse, second wave show ring for the harness ponies. Renovo Cup entrance. Need to see you guys coming through warm-up.
What's interesting is the class was at 9:45 at night. I've never worked my horses late at night, never. But to be frank, I felt that a little bit, as I got on him, because normally he'll just yank on those things real hard and be explosive like he is. But poor guy was sleepy. He did not have that same exuberance as he normally does. But that's one thing about him, is he has so much heart and so much grit
he knew what time it was, right? And he still gave me his all.
Which side, Andrew?
Right, go. Our right, my right. Oh, good boy. Oh, oh, oh! I'll tell you when. Put it on, baby. Let's go.
Make a pass.
What an exciting class, $35,000 on the line. It has been the Renovo Cup, the national championship, the grand championship. Just a year ago, it was won by one of the legends, Hyro T, the entry on and presented to the national championship by Myron Yoder of Paris, Indiana.
Here's the thing about showing horses, right? Not racing them, not, you know, things that are judged, right? It's a human being that's judging. Is someone could still see something wrong, right? They can still pick you apart. You could still not have politics on your side. You could, you know, they could miss a moment of brilliance that could have hands down won you the class. So even though I knew that Hubert did his best, you just still never know. So as they were, yeah, they pinned it in reverse order. They said 8th or 7th. And then that person got their ribbon and they left. He wanted to put his head down. He just was relaxed or whatever. And, you know, as they were calling those names, like I could hear them. I could hear them and I was praying I wasn't hearing mine. But like I kept just saying, good boy. Like, you did your thing, man. But you did your thing. Good boy. Good boy, my David. We did our thing. Like we showed what you're all about, right? And for true horse people, y'all motherfuckers know what it is. Like, you guys know what it is. Regardless of what happens, regardless of who is called first, y'all know who we are now. Like, you know it. So, you know, I kept talking to him, you know, like, buddy, we did it, buddy, we did it. We did it. It don't matter, we did it. You know, and yeah, man, it was like they had the last two. It was like, hey, we got the last two.
$750. Two outstanding entries. The Reserve Renovo Cup national winner. She's out of sight at Danny Moore of West Virginia.
like, wait, did you win? I was like, wait, did you win? Until finally they said it, and I was just like, dude, like now, I'm like feeling it again. Like I'm feeling it.
$1,250 and a big time
It was like the most amazing moment of my life because that's all I've ever wanted, you know, and it happened. So yeah, crazy.
Championship. We believe we have 6 to show, and they'll be competing for the Darrell Pinkerton Perpetual Memorial Trophy during the 1977. That's why keep that spirit up.
Good job, right there. Yes, you're good. You're good. Thank you.
Good job.
Look, you did it, man.
Good job. I was like, you ruined it for me. Hoover knew. He was walking like a champ. Andrew, that was perfect. Awesome. I got it. I'm going to go find the children.
Thank you.
Bro,
Thank you for helping.
You're fucking unanimous.
That's right.
We got the
Yes, finally. Man, oh man.
Sorry. Joey, okay.
Look at this fucking thing. I know. It's awesome. Are we putting Shanty in that? That's right. Oh gosh. Wow. Feels so good. Thank you, baby. Thank you. That's all you, Hubert. Nope. Good job, buddy. Good job, Hubert. Oh God. Love you, Megan.
Love you.
I went as far as I could go with, you know, not really pushing myself to the limits. You know, I knew it was instilled in me that if I wanted, I had to work hard. But obviously, I got as far as I was able to get for my natural ability. We see the difference in Alvin and I. You know, my big brother is that, you know, he took it to the next level playing in the NFL for however many years he played because that was his passion. That's what he always wanted to do. And, you know, because horses were that from the very beginning, like you guys know and you saw, and you instilled all that, the work ethic, you know, it's like I was waiting for that moment to use it with the things that I love the most. And it wasn't the sports, it was my horses, you know.
A mental note of this. When you were young, when you were really young, doing your sports, the middle school sports, the high school sports, you simply loved it. You simply enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You were not going to let statistics or win-loss stuff get you down. You're going to take every minute, you know, seriously and have some fun. Have some fun with it. My urge as a former college coach and, you know, high school coach or what have you, my urge was, I need to go talk to that young man about acting like that. And we're talking about having fun.
Yeah.
Running a touchdown and just just enjoying it.
Yeah.
But I never did. I knew that when I went to one of your games, I was going to have some fun.
Yeah.
Going to have some fun seeing you perform in miraculous ways. And I get that same feeling when I look at you working with these horses now. It's the same, or competing, or you know, showing horses. You know, it's just amazing.
My finger's not strong enough.
Your whole thumb onto it.
You did it! All right, I don't want this anymore.
I don't want this anymore. Get this shit away.
I like a little smooth.
I don't even know if it was in focus, but...
Yes, probably not.
Yes.
You didn't even have it out.
But I shot the bait.
Yeah. Oh. That's right, man. Yes. Oh, thanks, brother. Or son, excuse me. Thanks, son.
I was
Thanks,
thrilled.
son.
I was honored and excited for you. I think it's every parent's dream for their son to achieve what they think sometimes may be impossible. And in our family, we believe that there's nothing that's impossible if you work hard at it. And you proved that. That's what you showed us that night. We weren't there, but I was here, and I remember being in the bed and I was praying. I was like, okay, if they win, they're probably not going to call us real quick. So the longer I pray, the better. And then finally the call came through, and I was like, oh man, there's only one regret, that I wasn't there. That was the only regret, that I wish I'd been there.
Andrew, who won?
Who won? Who won, baby boy?
Daddy.
Daddy won?
Who won, baby boy? Hubert. Say it again. Say Hubert. Hubert. We did it.
That was pretty good. But the thing that really got me was watching your victory lap. That told me that you did it. You did it. That was the culmination of a lot of hard work. It was a culmination of just pouring your heart into your work. And I don't think a dad could have any greater gift than that, seeing that and being convinced of that. And that happened to me that night when you won.
I could have given up so many times. So many moments where I think it wasn't going to happen. Like not giving up, but yet things I don't have control over working out as well, right? Because I think you can not give up and things out of your control just don't work. And it doesn't matter how hard you work, it ain't gonna happen. All of the things that went into it, all of the things from being 5 years old writing, like, I wanna be successful with horses one day. Like my brother wrote, I wanna be in the NFL. Like, I wanna be successful with, a special horse one day, Like I said horse before I said anything else. Like, that shit is in me, right? And I'm just so blessed to be able to actually do it, right? Because there's a lot of people that can't do it for many reasons, and I'm able to. So, man, yeah, that's what I'm feeling, man. Is so many things led up to the moment, and it happened, right? It finished. We did it. This is the moment I've been waiting for my whole life.
Thank you, everybody. What do you guys think?
Awesome. When did you go on that? Great film.
God, this was so amazing. It was emotional for me to watch you live out your passion. And I just wonder, when you decided that you wanted to just dive full in, what was your first step? Because a lot of people have that dream and they have the drive, but they don't have the logistics, right? They don't necessarily have the mindset of like, how do I start and then actually practically take the steps to do it? So what did you do first?
The thing is, I'm a horse lover. Like I love, no matter what color it is, no matter how it moves or whatever. Of course I have my favorites, but I'm a horse lover in general. So when I wanted to start, I just bought a horse, this cheapo whatever thing down the road, and I did the best I could with it, right? That's when I started researching on kind of what, where it led me in the more saddle seat and stuff like that. But I think there's some point where you just have to just go and just do it. And that's kind of what I did is, when it was time, I just went out and bought one. And, it was actually a spotted saddle horse back in college. We just built from there.
I'm so glad that you addressed the whole light skin part, because I feel like with us being in the industries or different industries, we're looked at with a fine-tooth comb. And so I want to thank you for bringing that to the film, because it's just one of those things where, being in the industry is something similar. It's like working so hard because we have to work twice as hard for half the opportunities. And again, too, for Sam's question, what were the technical parts of filming this in terms of logistics, in terms of like archiving? How many hard drives did you have to buy? Like, what went into that?
I appreciate it. The light skin part, I actually had forgotten to put in the first edit, and thank you to my chief of operations, Elizabeth. When we did the first private screening, she mentioned, you should put that in. I originally was going to put it in, I just forgot. It was over 60 hours of editing. So when you watch it over and over and over again, you kind of get numb to it. So there were times where I had to let it go for 2-3 days and then come back to it. So it was just something that I had to show people that I trusted. It was very few. It was only 2 people that saw it before the first private screening. They gave me that I knew that were going to give me their real feedback. So she reminded me to put that in. I'm so glad I put that in because it was clutch. And it was one of the first things that I noticed when I went to the Tryon show with him in 2021. It was the first thing I know. I felt super weird, but it was also cool because they respected him so much because he was so good at his craft. They didn't care about his skin color. So the technical part, I filmed it with most of it, 90% of it with the Sony FX3. Most of it was handheld. 95% of it was unplanned. You're basically shooting from the hip. You got to get what you can get. So, excuse my language. You just got to be on your shit. You really have to look out for things. The things that you think will not matter to film are actually things that I ended up using in the film. So when you do something like this, it's kind of like when you film a wedding or a birthday party. You want to get the moments that the host isn't going to see. Those are the moments that the couple or the host actually appreciate. Oh, we didn't see that. That was awesome. Space-wise, it was a lot of hard drives. The filming, I'm not sure how many hours we took of filming, but it was a lot of driving back and forth to Stanfield. I had Elizabeth help me in Indianapolis, and it was just It was a lot. It was really the most technical and challenging thing I've ever filmed, because once it was done, I had to go back and watch everything, and each individual video clip you have to take note of and put it in a separate category. So first I had to put all the interviews together, watch all the interviews, and take notes. And from those interviews and the podcast, which drove the documentary, that's kind of how I pieced everything together.
Question for Sam. How did you know that like something was going to happen? Like for example, when Hoover tripped, did you just have the feeling that like, oh, I gotta film this, something might happen, or did you just happen to be filming at the time?
Not at all. Was that the first day? Yeah. So I'm so used to filming events such as weddings. When you're filming a wedding, you have to just keep rolling. You never know when certain moments are going to happen. So I kept that mentality, just filming everything. And in that particular moment, I was actually adjusting my camera because he was going to make another pass. So it was like really shaky. I had to crop into the image because I wasn't even zoomed in all the way and stuff. So no, I just made sure the camera was rolling, and that's kind of what I did the entire time. A lot of it was, I want to say, luck, but a lot of it also, with luck, because I don't really believe in luck, was preparation. Just film. You never know what you're going to need. All the creators in here know that when you go home after a project and you don't have enough filmed, it sucks. So it's always good to just overshoot.
Myself is when things don't work out, like be like water. As long as you're still moving down that path towards that goal, then you're going forward. I think it's important to have the ultimate goal, but maybe not know or have an exact track excuse me, of getting there, right? Keeping that a little bit fluid and understanding that, I'm a firm believer that you just have to stay open-minded, right? You have to stay open-minded to how you're going to get there. So when things just don't work out, maybe that's because it wasn't supposed to work out, but you're still going to get there. You just have to adjust, shake it off, and keep moving forward, So be like water.
Mine's kind of more of a comment and a question. But I kept having to look side to side to remember that I was in a theater because I felt like I was there. So that was amazing. And then for Andrew, for you to have parents that are like so supportive and loving of what you're doing was like just very refreshing and loving. Yes. I was like, oh my gosh. And then also a horse question. When you were in the ring at nationals and you kept going and like I was concerned about like, I know the noise thing when the little fall happened and stuff. Is there more of a disruption in like the horse when you were in the ring with all the other people at all? Or was the horse comfortable like being in there?
That's a great question. With certain divisions of horse showing, like show jumping, for example, it's a lot of like silence. Like you gotta sit and put your hands under your butt and be quiet. But with the saddle seat type of and show driving that we do, it's exciting. You're supposed to be loud. You're supposed to, be excited. And Hubert's a veteran at that. And what's really cool is back in the Netherlands where he came from, showing and show driving, it's way bigger. I mean, they'd have standing room only, events with these big shows, like the Oregon Trophy. There was like 30,000 people there. So he's used to people banging on the walls, and really that just gets them eared up more and more, because we want that pizzazz and charisma. And like I was saying in that one clip, is you got to know what's enough, right? Enough to get them. I do the thing, get them like this, but not too much, because that's the expression that we're looking for. We obviously want to breathe that in, that natural expression, and then cultivate that by noise sometimes and stuff like that. And also, of course, positive reinforcement when they do that big, kind of cocky deal, is that's a good boy. We want to be that. You're allowed to be that guy. And but yeah, no, it didn't bother him. I thought he showed up more. Like, he's a stallion, he's a breeding stallion, and breeding stallions can be very cocky and very, territorial or whatever. And there was just many times when a horse would pass and I just see his neck crank back like this. And I got this. It was great. Like, you're sitting behind him, like, it's just, I'm telling you, yes, But yeah, no, it was cool. It was cool.
I was glad Basil was these fun.
It feels really good. Big, everything to him, and yeah, it's cool, bro. I like it. It's cool, bro.
I gotta say that was very motivational and inspirational. It was worth the 2-hour drive.
Yeah, man.
Woo!
Did you say you drove 2 hours to here? Is that what you just said?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Go where he lives and show it.
Andrew, I just wanted to ask you, you said you got Hubert from overseas. Did you go over there, or how did you acquire Hubert?
No, I didn't. What's interesting is all the horses I own now are from another country. And I basically max out my budget to buy them, and I can't afford to go there. So, there's a certain American type for a Dutch harness horse, with the like expression, basically his conformation movement, that kind of thing. And he is the ultimate American style Dutch harness horse. He was the best of the best in the Netherlands at the time, and he just fit America perfectly. I'm going to go into a quick story. Please excuse me. But anyway, the KWPN is the registry that he's registered with KWPN. They have inspections to be approved stallions, right? There's only 40 approved stallions in the world, all right? He's one of them, which is obviously incredibly rare. The thing is, in the Netherlands, it is very traditional, and if you don't follow tradition, like you're nobody. Like you're a nobody. So anyway, when he was a 3-year-old, which normally that's when they go to the inspection and get approved or not, he wasn't approved. So that's when the guy that owned him at the time decided to say, hey, this horse is special. Like, he's got the pedigree behind it. He's got everything behind it. I'm just going to show him. I'm just going to go and, go that route. Anyway, he showed for, 5 years after that, kicked everybody's butt. He was undeniable. And he was then asked to come back for testing as an 8-year-old. By that time, of course, he passed. His mother is one of the most prolific producing Dutch harness mares in history. The mother of his half-brother, Ebert, who was a famous horse in the Netherlands. Anyway, by that time, they considered him man-made, right? Because he didn't follow tradition. So he kind of was a throwaway for the Netherlands, 100%. Like, they were like, we don't really, he's man-made. Oh, he didn't follow tradition. The best part is that horse deserves the world. Like, he is he is the best everything, right? And it means everything to me to finally give him the credit he deserves, right? He wasn't getting that in the Netherlands at all because of tradition. F that, right? He needed to come to America. He needed to show out. He needed to get on Instagram, right? And he had to show what he's all about, and he's doing that now. But yeah, boom, there it is.
Yeah.
He's 12.
Hey y'all, great film. But I want to ask, how did you decide to film this doc now? Like, were you so sure that this was the time? And was there like a contingency plan for if you didn't win?
Is that Maurice?
Yeah.
What's up, Brian? Maurice is a very talented filmmaker, by the way, so I'm very honored that he's here. I had a plan B, C, and D. We no offense to Andrew, but I'm always hope for the best, but plan for the worst. So I already had written out what I was going to do if he lost. Because the important part was to tell his story. Whether win or lose, he's a football player, so he knows this. Win or lose, you still put the work in. And like I said at the beginning, this was supposed to be a 10, 15-minute short film that we were going to put on YouTube. But the more I started filming him, the more I started to realize, like, yo, this dude, I thought I worked hard. This dude run laps around me. So I thought it was important to tell those layers. So when I thought it was going to be about his horses, you know, I kind of made the horses a prop, and I made the story about him and his parents and all the hard work and dedication that it takes to play football on an elite level, and then take that athleticism and that knowledge and use it for a completely different craft. So yeah, I had a few things right now.
Man, I just wanna congratulations for that champion. You know, I know you for quite a bit of time, and I know you guys do the best. Andrew is the best in the business. He looks for movements in the horses, and he knows what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Just congratulations. Today, I found out he got a big heart. His family got a big heart, and God is looking after Andrew. So congratulations, perfect. Keep doing what you're doing, and thank you for everything.
Thanks, brother.
Maurice, I forgot to answer one part of your question. So when I approached Andrew, I actually approached him because I wanted to practice, basically. This literally happened out of nothing. I told him, hey, I want to be a filmmaker. Let me practice on you. You seem like an interesting dude. And that's how it happened.
Blessing to see this full circle. Like like I said, I'm his older cousin, so seeing him when he was younger, and I'm the sixth Pearman in the group. We spent every summer from New York coming out to spend with them. And when I tell you, every time we got in that car, and if we saw a horse, we had to stop. Me and his sister was like, if we have to stop one more time to look at the horses. But he truly has had a passion for horses since he was 2-3 years old. Like, he always had that passion. And then him telling me in college, like, I want to buy a horse. I'm like, what? What's wrong with you? Are you crazy? Like, he's always had this passion. Like, he didn't care. It's like he was going to figure it out. I mean, I don't know anyone else that's a college student that should be worried about, competing. And he's like, no, I found a great deal on a horse, help me out. I'm like, sure. It's just like he had a way of selling himself. Like, and he was so determined. He was like determined to get this horse. And I've always seen that in him. And I'm so grateful now to see full circle, because it hasn't always been easy for you, I know. Like, you've had a lot of walls put up, but he always found a way. He didn't care if he was going hungry. He was going to get that horse. He was going to feed that horse. That horse he was going to train it. And just to see the full circle, like, I'm truly, like, so happy for you. It's such a blessing to be able to see this on the big screen and to see someone that looks like us. Like, I'm like, wow, like, you're Puerto Rican and Black. Like, we don't get on horses like this. Like, are you okay? Like, please don't fall. Like, it was just, so it's like such an inspiration so that other young kids can see that. Like, we can do this. We can do things that, that you have a passion for. So I'm so proud of you. I just want you to know that. Like, I love you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you for. Some people will call Andrew or even myself crazy because of how much we work on our craft, but it's not crazy. You literally have to be obsessed.
That's
Yes.
right.
You have to be obsessed to get to where you want to be, and there are very few individuals that understand that. The people that are in my inner circle, they understand that very well. They give me a hard time about it, but at the same time, they get it and they accept it. And Andrew is a prime example of why you have to be obsessed. So thank you for acknowledging that.
This is spinning. Those are your support staff. And behind every great man, they say, is a great woman, but an unsung hero. And Miss Megan, kudos to you. You hold it all together. And you deserve a lot of credit. And I want to thank you, Sam, for featuring them to show that it takes a lot just for this to happen.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You go, Megan.
So Sam, some of the scenes were amazing. It's like, it makes me think like, how was it filmed? The scene with y'all in the stables, and are you on foot like running after him? Wow.
Yeah, well, actually, when I posted it on my stories, these gentlemen right here, which are good friends of mine, they were joking because I looked like a meme. Running, but with this type of film, the camera shake is needed. It's almost invited, but you don't want too much of it. So it was hard. It was hard because I had to keep my upper body stable while running with the horse. I had to try and find that medium of camera shake, but not making it look like, you know, a 3-year-old was filming it. so yeah.
And then a question for Andrew. Are you starting to put more people of color in this sport?
No, no, not yet. Not yet, no.
We're hoping after this.
Yeah, we're hoping after this for sure. Yeah, I mean, you know, I didn't have anybody to look up to in this specific division or breed to say, hey, oh, I want to be like that guy, you know, but my dad didn't raise us to like look up to anyone, so to speak. It's just to just simply try to be the best and, you know, the best that we can be in the best period. So I hope there's more people like myself getting in the business, but getting in it the right way, and the right way meaning just, you know, coming correct, right? What was it? You seen the movie Biker Boys? Anybody seen Biker Boys? Yeah, too, right? I remember this, like, you know, this saying, but he says, if you step to me, you better come correct. Remember when he said that? So I think that with horses, it being like myself is if I'm gonna step, I better come correct, and that means just learning the most you can, right? Not worrying about, you know, there's a budget for everything, right? If you really research enough, if you talk to the right people, if you're patient, you can be on a high level. I mean, it takes time and it takes research, but you know, there's not an excuse for anyone to get into it. And I hope more people just in general get into this thing, and you know, we make it more diverse and we bring some flavor. You know, that's what we do. Is that like we do everything? You know, in a lot of the big training barns, someone cleans their stall, someone feeds, the trainer then trains, and the horse has an association of each person as, all right, my trainer's near and I gotta work, right? So I'm in there doing everything. Megan's in there, like, whenever my horse sees me, they see, oh, I get scratched, or I gotta work, I gotta do, like, there's so many things, right? There's so many things that we can do, and it keeps their mind sharp, and it also lets them, you know, connect with me and trust me more. So there's a huge aspect of like, yeah, like you were saying, like a spiritual connection, you know, that we have.
See?
It's crazy.
And I used to be like her photographer and all that stuff. And she introduced me to, she was cutting my hair, and she was like, man, yo, you gotta meet this dude. He's crazy. He loves horses. He's so driven. He's just like you, except, you know, you do your camera thing and he does his horse thing. Y'all have to meet, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I got an inquiry to do a photo shoot with the horse. That's where we officially met. And we just kind of kept in touch through social media. And then I asked if I could film one of his shows, just because, you know, when you start, you know, I started with portrait photography and then got into nightlife and all that stuff. I wanted to branch out. You know, you start feeling like it's not enough, and I wanted to do something different. So I went and filmed one of his shows, you know, and then try on, and after that,
the podcast afterwards.
Oh yeah, we had a podcast, and after the podcast, you know, that's when I asked him, I'm like, can I practice with you? And you know, we were like, yo, it's gonna be the dopest YouTube video.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, you know, I was thinking beautiful cinematic shots of the horses and making Andrew look like a hero, which I did, which he is. But I did it completely different and focused on him.
Cool.
But regardless of that, I'm so proud of you, Sam. Love you to death.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And thank everybody for being here.
Hey, this is a question for Andrew and Sam. I'd like to hear both your perspectives. What were both your perspectives being on the opposite point of the documentary? Andrew, what was your first impression? How that might have been like a new challenge for your work in long form?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I think I've been doing that on like social media for a while, where I'm just vulnerable. I'm showing everything. I'm not scared to, the good, the bad, the ugly. So yeah, I mean, I think it was relatively natural to kind of go into what we did. And I told Sam, I said, just film everything. I'm cool with whatever. Like, I know you're gonna do it right, and yeah, just do it. So yeah, no, it was just real smooth.
What about as a like high level competitor? And your approach in pursuit of nationals, do you feel like the documentary ever got in the way or frustrated you?
No, it didn't. I think no, it did not. No, it didn't because of like my intensity, right? He was never in a bad spot. Like he was, out of the way, but close or whatever. If he was, then he would have known that really quickly. But no, he did amazing. It didn't, it didn't mess up our rhythm or what we were doing. I mean, he was like fly on the wall, like truly, he was, again, never in the way. I mean, we sat down and did interviews or whatever, but all like the B-roll and the natural stuff, he was just there. Like he was just there. So no, it was great.
Can you repeat I forgot.
I can probably hear you from here.
Yeah.
What was the challenge of like the creative voice of portraying the image of somebody?
So the challenge was what attracted me to it. Most of the individuals that have known my work over the years, they know that I do, recap videos, and I did nightlife for 4 years, weddings, which I don't promote a lot of it, but I do a ton of them. And I just felt like none of it ever resonated with what I wanted to do, with the direction that I wanted to go in. And I've been obsessed with films and documentaries since I was a kid. I mean, I was, 12 years old watching The Godfather. You know what I'm saying? Like watching Heat, watching The Matrix, watching just all these films that a kid is not supposed to be watching. But I was just infatuated by, how did they do this? So when I approached Andrew, I finally told myself, like, I have to challenge myself with something greater. And it really was. It was hard. It was very hard. But
After the first one, filming your first documentary, is there anything you'd do differently now?
oh yeah. Actually, so I'm working on 2 right now. I just started filming a documentary for a project at UNCC, and the professors are actually here, which thank you for coming, on a musical theater, and it's amazing. And another one as well, which I'm not going to get into, but I was really hard on myself with the technical things. The audio, too much camera shake here, too much use of the gimbal, using different sources of audio, just being more attentive of things that, it was like boot camp. Doing this documentary was literally like boot camp. So I definitely, before taking on a project like this, now I think a lot more. Pre-production is everything. Knowing the story before you start filming and studying what you're filming as you're going is super clutch, because it's at the end of the day, nobody's going to care about how good it looks. But they're watching because they want to learn something. They want to see something that they've never really seen before. So that's probably the biggest thing that I took from this is a lot of writing and a lot of reading, which I don't do.
Thank you, guys.
This is for
Again with Hubert. There's 2 horses that have won twice, so we want to win 3 times to make him the most prolific Dutch harness horse in the country. And with that, and him being a breeding stallion, it's then the next generation, which is very important. A breeding stallion is only as good as what he produces. And we've got something very special at the farm now, Miss Stephanie.
Yeah.
Very special, and 2-year-old, that's basically a carbon copy of Hubert. That's the next kind of step. And we've got some other babies coming as well. So to repeat, hopefully, and then to then work on that next generation, the next gen, to solidify him as the business. Yeah.
For me is to make more films. So I'm working on 2 documentaries now. I'm writing out a short film that I want to have done by the end of the year. This documentary we're submitting to every film festival you can think of. And the short film that I'm gonna hopefully finish by the end of the year, I'm also gonna be submitting to film festivals. I also recently got hired for an awesome motorcycle project. If anybody knows me, I'm obsessed with motorcycles. Hence the motorcycle knuckleheads up here. But the project also entails, telling the story of the motorcycle community from their point of view. So you also have to write a story with that. You can make anything look cool, but the hard part about filmmaking is getting the emotional attachment to somebody who knows nothing about that world. And when they watch it, then they feel it. Even though they've never ridden a horse, or they've never ridden a motorcycle, or they're never, whatever. That's the goal, is whatever you're filming is you want to make sure that the audience has that emotional connection to what they're watching. So that's my goal for this year.
Achieved.
To make more money.
Achieved.
Favorite movie, Pauly Shore, Encino Man. Reason I'm legit. Ooze.
All right, so I've got a question as well. It's a 2-part question. Andrew kind of touched base on this on the film. So the first part is
maybe I have a screw loose in that respect, but yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. But why? Like, no matter what happens, if it's something you love and you want, like, you have control over that. You have control over, like, your want to. So if you have control over something, why would you let it turn into something negative, right? Get control of your life and go get it. That's it. That's all you have to do. And his second part?
The second part was what? Go.
second part was, how do you go about taking a step back and essentially celebrating yourself and your accomplishments?
You know what? Things move so fast, right? In this horse business or horse world or whatever. I remember remembering how it felt to win, and that was the culmination of everything, right? It was everything. But then the day afterwards, I remember telling Megan, I was like, I don't feel it anymore, right? Like, we got to go. What's next? I think it's important to, to not get down on that, right? Know that feeling's going to happen, but know that feeling's going to go away too, and then set your eyes again on the next step, right? Because it can't just be one thing. If it was just to win that, I'd be done now. Like, I can die now because I just won. Like, no, it's got to be incremental. It has to be realistically incremental, and a little bit unrealistic too. So yeah.
Well, cool. Again, thank all of you for being here. Everyone who purchased tickets, everyone who